What? Who is that? Oh no. Do you think we could like reschedule this or something? I'm kind of busy right now. I don't really have time for this. Are you sure? Like there's no way? All right, well, come with me, I guess then. All right, here it is. So this is my studio slash office for 2020. This is pretty much like my dream setup of everything. I do pretty much everything in here. So I stream in here, I edit videos in here, I work on music in here. Oh, I shoot videos and even some photos and stuff. This is basically ready for anything. So I guess we'll just start over here by the door maybe with some lick. So we do have a little bit of liquid encouragement, especially when we're getting into the music stuff. It helps to kind of open up a little bit and be a little bit more creative. So we have that chilling there. Then right above that, I actually have the first of mini lights in here, and it's actually on a little hook mounted on the wall, but that's gonna be a nice little hair light for my main setup. And it's also gonna bring a little bit more ambiance into the room. Moving on, we have a little couch here for if the homies are chilling, making music, or maybe if I have a guest on my stream. I have not sat on that couch once. We also have some art on the walls. We have a lot of acoustic foam throughout the room, you'll see. I promise you, I know that it does nothing, it just looks cool. Moving on, we have a little record station that is also kind of not set up yet. The record player can't be used yet. Need to get some cables for it. But we also have some records on the wall, as well as all of my favorite records here that I have. And then that kind of brings us to the main part of the room, which is the desk. So this desk is a custom-made countertop from IKEA. It's ridiculously big, but I needed something big. As you see, I have a ton of stuff on here, and then it's on my legs from Autonomous. So it is a sit-stand desk. Got the PC here, custom built, of course. I'm not really gonna go over the specs. It's kind of dying, so I need to upgrade soon. Then we have the monitors back there. They're from Sterling. They're pretty cheap monitors, but they get the job done for editing, for music, and just for like general computer use when I'm watching streams and stuff. The main thing that you probably see that's a lot different from most setups is the TV back there. So that's a 49-inch TV, I think. It's also 4K, so it's just a ton of real estate. And it's at the perfect height to where I just look barely over my monitor, and everything is right there. So I use that for music production, editing, watching videos. If there's somebody in here working on something with me, I can throw stuff up there and watch it. It's just, that's like easily the best thing I've done with this new studio is the TV. It has been a lifesaver for efficiency and just having all the screen real estate I need to do everything I do. So moving on, we do have a regular 27-inch monitor. Is a 16:9 because this ultra wide over here, which is my side monitor, used to be my main monitor, but it doesn't work for like streaming and stuff like that to have that aspect ratio. And I actually kind of prefer it being over there on the side because I can throw up a lot of different stuff on there as well while I'm working on other stuff. And I guess we'll kind of talk about some stuff that's on the desk. So we have two different keyboards. We have a Midi keyboard that I use for music production, all that kind of stuff. Obviously, comes in a lot handy to have all the different knobs and stuff. And I have my Stream Deck, which right now is like 100% for streaming. I don't use it for anything else currently, but I am kind of in the process of figuring out how I can use it for editing and music production and stuff like that. I have my main camera that I use at my desk, which is actually a broken A6500 from Sony. The SD card slot doesn't work, so it makes for a perfect studio cam since I use a capture card with it. And that has a 16mm 1.4 lens on it, which is just perfect for a setup like this where I'm at a studio and I want the background to be nice and out of focus. And then we have my mixer, which is the Yamaha MG10XU. That's where all of my audio is gonna route into it, out of it, not only for streaming and for general computer use, but also it's how I get audio to my monitors and my headphones and everything like that at the same time. So that's a very essential piece of my setup. And then my more recent audio additions are kind of back here. I have this audio interface. So I used to just run my mic into the mixer as well, but now that I'm working on music production and stuff, it's pretty important to have an interface just because of how an interface interacts within a music software. This microphone, my main microphone, is plugged into it, and that's the Rode NT1. I love this microphone, it's great for pretty much everything. And then recently, this is actually not my microphone. But of course, this is the Shure SM7B. This is actually Danny's microphone, and it's just been over here at this studio for quite a while. Then right on top of that, I have a headphone splitter in case there's multiple people here working on music and we're recording vocals or something where we need headphones. It's the biggest room in my house, and it's pretty much completely full with gear. But in the closet here, I mostly have spare cables, spare gear. I have a ridiculous amount of cables, honestly. Like, just this bundle right here is like 75 feet of XLR or something. And then I have like some Ethernet cables, a bunch of 1/4-inch cables, HDMI, USB. So like a lot of these cables are used when I do some stream stuff that's not just in this room. And then if we move over to the right here, this is probably my favorite thing in here, honestly. I love this and it looks so cool, and I want to fill out the whole wall. So these are, I get asked this like every time somebody comes in here. I actually just printed these off at Walgreens. So I just like went online, downloaded like a movie poster or the movie cover from all these different movies, and then just ordered them to Walgreens, and it was like $20. And I want to fill out this whole wall with more movies, but it's just such a cool piece to have, I guess, because there's so much personality in it, and I feel like everybody that's come in here so far has had something to say about some of the movies, and we've used it as like inspiration while we're freestyling. And then we have a couple guitars down here as well as a spare chair, just in case somebody needs to be kind of up here working on stuff. We have that chair tucked away. I do have one light over there sitting on one of my monitors. That's gonna be like my key light. I bounce it into the ceiling to give me a nice soft light, and it doesn't overpower the LED strip that I have up on the ceiling. And that's kind of what gives the room the most like ambience and the vibe that you get when you're in here. I try to keep it pretty like dim lighting, but still enough lighting to be able to shoot in here no problem. And I guess that's pretty much it for the studio itself. Now we'll take a quick look downstairs at my gear room, because you heard it here first. I have 2 rooms in my house dedicated to gear. Let's take a look. So let's take a look. We are in the gear room now. So this is where all of the gear that I don't use upstairs lives. We have this giant chair for no reason, only because it didn't fit in my living room anymore. Then we have my light dome. It's a 3-foot light dome for my big light. Love this thing, it's so great, but it's really, really bulky, which is nice that I have all this room to store it in. We have my gimbal. It's the Ronin S. Really like this gimbal, it's really nice. We have my really old, very broken video tripod from like 6 years ago that I still need sometimes because it's the only fluid head I own right now. I have a printer here that I use for printing contracts, different documents, sometimes photos. It is a pretty good photo printer. Then we have kind of the main shelf here. I mean, first of all, we have a ton of extra fireworks from a 4th of July shoot we did. I have like a ridiculous amount of these mic arms because of podcast days, so I just keep them around in case I need them. And then this shelf is kind of audio centric. So I have my shotgun mic that's XLR. This little bucket here is new. It's all of my different rigging stuff that I have so far, as well as some like plates from random tripods and stuff. And like the tools that you need, because now that I have like a rig for my camera, I realize how many tiny little things you need. And it's kind of getting ridiculous already, but it's fine. We have my old Rode Videomic Micro, I think is what it's called. Actually fantastic mic, especially for the price. But then last year I upgraded to the Videomic Pro Plus, which is better. This is actually probably my most recent investment. I love this thing. It's the Atomos Inferno. So it's a 7-inch monitor and recorder. Love this thing, it's so great. We have a little waterproof housing for my A7, some cleaning supplies, and this is a wireless mic, the Rode Wireless Go, I think is what it is. And then down here is all batteries, all power. So I have some random stuff like a Bluetooth speaker just because I have a bunch of charging stuff here. But battery chargers for all my cameras, all of my different MPF batteries for lights and my monitor and everything. Power adapter for a camera. And then below that is gonna start getting into some lighting. So we have some gels, we have my slate, some backdrops, reflectors. Then we have my big boy light that I got earlier this year. The Godox SL 60 watt equivalent LED. This thing is incredible. I have some other panels, some small ones, and then the bottom shelf there is just light stands, tripods. I have an extension cord down there, smoke machines chilling on the floor. I have my GoPro, an old Canon that I never use. I don't even know what GoPro that is either. I have my Sony A6000 that I bought on like a whim to replace my A6500 because I needed a B cam. it does a pretty good job, especially with a pretty decent lens. And then I have my 85, which is easily my favorite lens. And I have Sony, of course, the A7 III, now with a rig on it. Love it so much. This camera is amazing. I have the Tamron 28-75 on here, and then I also have the Tamron sister, the 17-28. Both fantastic lenses, love them both. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys found anything helpful, if you guys have any questions about anything that I've talked about, definitely feel free to leave a comment down below, and hopefully you can take some part of what's in my setup and stuff to apply it to your own to make it better. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, as always, do the right thing, good vibes only, and never stop creating. Peace.